Okay, we're on. Welcome to YOLO Crypto. We are going to try to give you the latest news on cryptocurrency, NFTs, and blockchain in general. Okay, today's January 30th, 2025. I'm your host, Daniel Scott Jacobs. Let's get started. So, we've got crypto bubbles pulled up here. Let's take a look real quick. I like to look at this. You know why I like to look at this? Because it's green, right? There's a few of these clowns are in here in red. Whiff. Ooh, Trump's down a little bit. Maker. We got Jasmine up. DXE, DXE, AR. I think that's Lido Finance. Yeah, Farcoin's doing well, thank God. Shiba Inu. What else we got? Where's Doge? I gotta stop reaping Doge. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Pepe's up a little bit. I love his little picture there. All right, let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. Sorry, CoinGecko. I always do that. So the day started off a little more greener. It might have. I don't know exactly when the 20 I don't think it's at noontime because they cut off like the 24-hour. Like I don't know when their time span is. I just know that we're looking at I don't know when we started a new 24-hour that's tracking these percentage changes. But anyway, it could be noontime. It could be noontime. I could just be tripping. I don't know. Bitcoin's up 1.2%. Ethereum showing a little more movement here, up 3.1%. What I don't like here, I don't like when Bitcoin shows more progression than the altcoins. You know what I mean? Like Dogecoin, Cardano, like everything is basically flat, which is fine. I'm fine with flat if if my portfolio's in the green, but relatively we're all green, which is good. Bitcoin is creeping up, which is really good. Let's look at the top gainers here. Where's Butthole Coin? I don't see it here. Okay, I don't own any of that coin. So let's see here. So we have ECOX. That's number 899 on CoinGecko. It's up almost 90%, 89.7. Neon, number 639 on CoinGecko. It's up 73%. And AI Companions. Okay, you're gonna start seeing a lot. There's already been as soon as CZ came out with a post on X, I think, and he said something along the lines of. Crypto and AI were mentioned in the same sentence. Let's put it that way. And when he did that, he's got a lot of viewers on his profile. Everybody likes him. He's the CEO of Binance, with ties to Binance.us, different companies, but same guy relatively. The AI crypto coins went nuts. So if you caught that movement, you did very well. But it creates an opportunity, right? When you see coins like that, right? If they've been around for a little bit, you see them have a big boost up. Wait till they pull back 50%. People lose a little interest because there's going to be more posts about that. There's going to be more AI involved with crypto. So those are coins that would be worth holding on for long. But the thing is especially how I spoke about yesterday, with all these fake coins coming out, you want to find one that has some fundamental value, right? That's a real. They're trying to make real development, real changes, real innovation. You want to try to find those companies. This is 6 months ago, a year ago, I really started to actually, because before I just bought coins, I would listen to BitBoy, who's now BitBoy X, and I would listen to him and I would buy stupid coins. It was 2021, so it was a bull market. So I was just buying it. I was making money until it crashed and I hold on to everything. Now I'm back in the green, but look up some coins. If you're gonna buy a coin, I don't care if someone says to buy it, if you heard about it, if you see a lot of posts about it, if there's a big community about it, know something about it. Easiest way to do that, go to ChatGPT, type in what is said coin, right? And it's going to give you a page summary. I study a coin a day. So I have a notebook, I write down a coin a day, and I do that, and that's my thing. And you'll think after a year, you're going to be very well-spoken on 300 coins. Start with Bitcoin, move your way down. You see one you like, maybe throw that in there. That's what I've been doing, and it's really expanding my not my vocabulary, but my education, right? And also, you might come up with an idea. You might be like, you know what's missing? This is missing. Let me make a coin, or let me try to develop something, or let me send an email, let me talk to someone. Who knows? You might come up with an idea. People are usually a lot more creative than they give themselves credit for, me included. So Jelly My Jelly. Haven't heard about this one. I should have. It's pretty low. It's 558 on CoinGecko. It's down 50%. Blah. Space N, ticker symbol SN. Number 909 on CoinGecko is down 25%. Islamic Coin. I don't know why I did that. ISLM is down 25.5%. Let's take a look. Let's see if we see what else we see here. Doggle on Mars, I remember when that came out. That's up a little bit. FWOG down here, that's down. Okay, MAGA. So MAGA with the name Trump, that's not tied to Trump, but let's see where it's at. I can't really see here. Down 7.4%. All right, let's move on. I pulled this up. So this is unrelated to crypto, but Tony Robbins, he's doing his summit right now, which is free. You sign up. I'm sure if you go to YouTube, you can find the first day on here. It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours for 3 days. And it's good stuff. It's about changing your life. You know what Tony Robbins is about. I'm watching it live. I think it's really good. If you're trying to make positive changes in your life, just throwing that out there. Okay, so this is the kind of the top story that I have. Don't let me go through yesterday again. SBF's parents seek pardon from President Trump. This is fucking bullshit. I hate this guy. I really hate this guy. You want to know why I hate him? Because he took our money. He took retail's money, and he went and he bought his own shit with it, and he misappropriated funds. He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. I'm glad they smoked him. He got 25 years in the feds. 25 years. His parents are rich. When he was spending before his trial, after he got arrested, when he was bailed out, they were spending $1 million a day on security. Right? That is ridiculous. Or at least that is what I heard. I read somewhere from a notable source. So let's read here. The parents of former I quote former FTX CEO Sam SBF is what they call him. Bankman-Fried are reportedly exploring the possibility for a presidential pardon for their son, who was sentenced to 25 years. I would bet on the fact that he's not going to get it. I don't know how presidential pardons work. I don't know if they can lessen the time. I was thinking early when I was reading this, I was like, he really got a big sentence. I wouldn't mind seeing that cut in half. But now that I think after I read this article, I was like, no, screw that. The guy's a criminal, right? He was running a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency exchange on QuickBooks. You don't do that. You have people. You have a finance company you use, an accounting firm you use. According to January 3rd Bloomberg report, citing anonymous sources, Bankman-Fried's parents have already met with lawyers and other figures close to the Trump administration to determine whether clemency was possible. See, the thing is he's got money. His parents, I don't know exactly what they do, but they're not poor people. They have a lot of money. He grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. And I think he's got something going on. I don't know if it's Asperger's or something, but they're probably going to use that to his advantage. Not that they shouldn't, but I mean, still. With the success, with the perceived success that he had on FTX by creating that, you can no longer use the mental decapacity or his mental ignorance as an argument, right? That goes out the window once you see what he built, right? Basically, once considered to be the golden child of crypto, because he was at one point. He was meeting with President Biden. This is before the last cycle's crash. He's meeting with President Biden. He was doing things that already, I can't remember exactly what he was doing, but he was lobbying or advocating for more regulation on cryptocurrency. That's what he was doing. I remember now. He was doing something along the lines of that. Once being considered the golden child of crypto, Bankman-Fried's house of cards fell apart in late 2022 when FTX couldn't fulfill customer withdrawals, right? That is like the only thing you need to do. People put money in, they make money or they lose money when they purchase cryptocurrency from your exchange. Where is the fucking money? Right? I can understand if there was like a little bit that need to be tweaked, like if you were if people were staking, which again, staking is a good business model because they're making more of a percentage point than they're giving you, so it's income, it's profit. But I can understand like if something got screwed up there, and he didn't quite have all of it, but he wasn't even close. When FTX couldn't fulfill customer withdrawals, the exchange collapsed in a matter of days, revealing a business built on fraud, embezzlement, and misuse of customer funds. He's not alone. BlockFi, which I use, which I got smoked on. Celsius, right? That's another one. Thank God I didn't use them. I didn't get hit that bad, but I lost some ETH. A lot of that was where my ETH was. It was staked. moving on. So Bankman-Fried's criminal trial concluded in November 2023 when he was found guilty of 7 charges. All charges that he got charged with, he was found guilty of, right? Just that usually doesn't happen. Usually they throw out 1 or 2. Yeah, he was guilty of them all. Guilty of 7 charges ranging from wire fraud, securities fraud, and commodities fraud. His sentence was handed down on March 20, 2024. Let's watch this video so you can get a better idea.
Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty of all 7 charges by a jury in his criminal trial in New York after about 4 hours of deliberations.
They're grabbing him and shit.
He will return to court for sentencing by New York District Judge Lewis Kaplan on March 28, 2024. Bankman-Fried's crimes each carry a maximum sentence of between 5 and 20 years in prison, with the wire fraud conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy carrying a maximum 20-year sentence. New York Southern District U.S. Attorney Damian Williams called Bankman-Fried's crimes a multi-billion-dollar scheme designed to make him the king of crypto, and one of the biggest financial frauds in American history. Bankman-Fried's attorney, Mark Cohen, said in a statement, "We respect the jury's decision, but we are very disappointed with the result. Mr. Bankman-Fried maintains his innocence and will continue to vigorously fight the charges against him." For all the latest crypto news and updates, subscribe to the official Cointelegraph YouTube channel.
Okay, great. I love when the crowd harasses him. It's funny. To me, anyway. Appealing to Trump. Although many in the crypto community thought Bankman-Fried's chance of clemency was higher under former U.S. President Joe Biden, the Trump administration has become a powerful ally for the industry, which is why he's asking. He's probably getting all excited, like, ooh, they might do it. Well, this may not be enough to absolve Bankman-Fried of a sentence. There's growing hope among white-collar defendants that President Donald Trump is open to hearing their cases. White-collar prison consultant Sam Mangold told Bloomberg that several defendants have submitted clemency requests since Trump was elected. I didn't know you could request it. I guess that makes sense. Their hope for clemency likely grew after President Trump followed through on his campaign promise to pardon Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht, who served 11 years out of a double life sentence. A double life sentence. This is simply a guy, bought no drugs, sold no drugs, not on his side anyway, simply facilitated, right? He didn't ask people to sell drugs on his website. He didn't steal people's fucking money. You know? It's a complete 180 compared to SBF. However, unlike Bankman-Fried's case, Ulbricht's case is seen as an emblematic of perceived state overreach. 2 life sentences? I mean, come on. That's just where the punishment doesn't fit the crime. A Bitcoin analyst for at Trezor. So Trezor's a hardcore wallet. Yeah, so that one, I'll be really upset if he ends up getting a pardon, which I don't think he will. Okay. So BTC price taps 106K as US GDP boosts Bitcoin bull case. So I want to get the facts. So one thing I like to do is, like, if I'm unsure about something, I don't Google it anymore. I ask ChatGPT. So just so we have a better picture here, let's ask ChatGPT. Oh shit, that's not the right thing. Okay, here we go. Here it is. So is a high GDP good for Bitcoin or bad? High GDP can have mixed implications for Bitcoin depending on the broader economic context and how investors perceive it. So positive implications for Bitcoin, right? It increase wealth. People have more money, they can invest more in Bitcoin, basically. Higher GDP often means economic growth, more disposable income, and higher savings, which could lead to increased investment in alternative assets like Bitcoin. I don't like how it says alternative assets. Soon it's just going to say assets. Institutional adoption. Economic strength might encourage more institutional investors to enter the crypto market, viewing Bitcoin as a long-term store of value or hedge. Okay, it is a long-term store of value. Tech advancement. Growing economies often support innovation, which could indirectly benefit the crypto ecosystem through blockchain technology adoption. Now, negative impacts. Risk-off sentiment. If GDP growth signals a strong economy, investors might favor traditional markets, bonds, etc. over riskier assets like Bitcoin. I don't agree with that. Bitcoin adoption's here, right? Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Bitcoin is, see, the thing is you almost, it runs on the blockchain as opposed to the stock market, which is centrally controlled. So it will never be under that umbrella. but still, they can word it a different way. This is ChatGPT, right? Which is progressive, but still, like, I would like to see them word things a little differently, because it is different. It is different. Bitcoin's no longer the black sheep, right? He's in with the rest of the crowd. Stronger USD. A higher GDP often correlates with a strong dollar, which can reduce Bitcoin's appeal as a hedge against the fiat deflation. Thirdly, we have tighter monetary policy. If a strong GDP growth leads to interest rate hikes, borrowing costs increase, and speculative investments like Bitcoin could take a hit. Okay. Well, they didn't higher borrowing costs, right? The interest rate didn't go up, so we're fine there. So let me go back here. We'll just see what they have to say. Okay. So earlier this week, we hit a new high very, very briefly. Data from Cointelegraph, Market Pro, and TradingView shows BTC price strength preserving with BTC USD 2% up on the day. They're talking about today. The latest U.S. macro data fell considerably short of expectations, with Q4 GDP coming in at 2.3% versus a forecasted 2.5%. I wouldn't consider that considerably short. It's like slightly short, right? It's a fifth of a basis point. I mean, come on. Implement immediate response. Yields down, dollar down, ETH versus BTC up strongly, all coins surging. Crypto trader, analyst, and entrepreneur Michael Van Pope wrote in part of a reaction on X, calling the result a big miss. I don't see that really being a big miss. I just don't. The pendulum starts to change, and I think it's going to continue coming. Period. Okay. Well, that's good to hear, right? The thing is Bitcoin used to move inversely with tech stocks. It's going to become more in line over time. U.S. SEC approves Bitwise combined Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. All right, quick take. The agency approved Bitwise Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF on Thursday on an accelerated basis. That's cool. The fund has exposure to spot Bitcoin and Ether and would hold both assets as well as cash according to the filing. I really like this, because if you're in the middle between like everybody says like just buy Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, institutional investors, a lot of people say just buy Bitcoin, like the strategic Bitcoin reserve, or the strategic digital asset reserve will probably just be Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's a top dog, right? Mainly because it's so decentralized and it uses a proof of work, which is the main thing. Proof of work is the main thing, because you're taking physical energy and converting it to digital energy through mining, right? That's why Bitcoin is so separate, and because it's so decentralized, and because it was the first one. But I like this, because if you're between Bitcoin and altcoins, you can buy them both, right? In one ETF, you don't have to go into the crypto blockchain. You can simply buy it right on your trading account. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved a filing from New York Stock Exchange ARCA to list and trade shares for Bitwise combined Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded fund. The agency approved the Bitwise Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF on Thursday on an accelerated basis, according to a filing made by the SEC. In particular, the Commission finds that the proposal is consistent with Section 6B5 of the Exchange Act, which requires, among other things, that the exchange's rules be designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices, and, in general, to protect investors in the public interest, the agency said. Where the fuck did it go? Oh. Several firms have filed to list new crypto products with U.S. financial watchdogs, and amid a sea change in regulatory outlook under the Trump administration. Former SEC Chair Gary Gensler was hesitant to approve the Bitcoin ETF trading, for instance, prior to court order. They made him do it. In particular, VanEck and ProShares submitted a flurry of crypto ETF filings to trade Litecoin, XRP, and Solana in the days leading up to Inauguration Day, while Coinbase Derivatives is looking to list Sol and Hedera futures, overseen by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So that's actually the next thing I want to look at. So Coinbase files to list Solana and Hedera futures on its derivatives trading platform. So what does what is Solana? What does Coinbase currently have for the derivatives market? Which I've never messed with. I'm more of a traditional right now. I'm more of a traditional buy and hold trader. But what they offer now is Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Nano Bitcoin, which is 100th size of a Bitcoin, which is kind of cool. Nano Ether, which is 1/10 of an Ether. Micro crude oil, nano crude oil, gold, silver. 1,000 Shiba Inu, Avalanche, Chainlink, Silver, Stellar. Did I put Silver twice? No, I said it twice. So that's currently what they have. But Coinbase follows lists of Solana and Hedera futures on its derivatives trading platform. So that's cool. I mean, the thing is, the reason it's not like in a regular exchange where you can like, it's much easier to list something to sell as opposed to listing its derivatives, right? Because you have to get regulatory compliance to do that. Coinbase Derivatives, a subsidiary of U.S.-based crypto exchange, has filed to list new futures contracts for Solana and Hedera HBAR according to separate regulatory filings on Thursday. I've always liked HBAR. I like HBAR before I even knew what it did. I just like the name. The exchange is looking to list 3 new contracts, which will be cash settled on a monthly basis on or after February 2025. Coinbase is the latest firm looking to capitalize on the improved market sentiment and the possibility of positive regulatory advancement under the Trump administration. That's why all this is happening. If Kamala Harris had won, you wouldn't see nearly the excitement, the enthusiasm, and the innovation that you're seeing now. That's why it was so important for the crypto community to have Trump as a president as opposed to his competitors, because he's pro-crypto, right? Whether he did that to win votes and capture the election or not, that doesn't matter. I really think he's into crypto now, especially now that he has Trump coin. That was big. People, I've heard some hate speech about Trump. Oh, he made his own coin and make a few bucks. Who gives a shit, right? The thing is, now he can relate to it, right? He's got business. He's negotiated with it. He's got business deals with it. He has his own coin, so it gives him a chance to experience and share in the fun that we're having, right? All right, moving on. Here's why DeepSeek crashed your Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, let's take a look here and see what they have to say. We already kind of know this, but the Bitcoin price dipped 6%, which is quite a bit. Anything over 5 is very significant. On January 27, when stock markets responded to the debut of China's open source high efficiency AI model that investor Mark Andreessen stubbed AI's Sputnik movement. So for those of you who don't know, Sputnik was the first artificial satellite that was launched up, which started the, and I quote, space race. This is years ago. We made it to the moon though. Cha-ching! DeepSeek spooked U.S. markets on news that the model's developers were able to produce a worthy competitor to American AI firms like OpenAI at a fraction of the cost. That's what's scary. The firm claims it was able to develop its AI model on a shoestring budget of just under $6 million using less advanced hardware from semiconductor manufacturer NVIDIA. The video went down 17% on that day, on the 27th. Tech stocks took a beating. All the Magnificent Seven, Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta and Alphabet saw losses, with NVIDIA breaking a Wall Street record and dropping nearly 70% on the day. The cheaper and more energy efficient DeepSeek even sent energy utility stocks spiraling, as they were counting on revenues from power-intensive computing of U.S.-based models like ChatGPT. Crypto wasn't spared either. Major coins like Bitcoin and Ether saw 6% and 7% losses respectively, while some altcoins suffered losses in double digits. Seasoned crypto traders are no stranger to double-digit price swings, but the coinciding drop in the price shows that cryptocurrencies are indeed a risk-on asset and are subject to the same market forces that impact traditional finance. Of course they are. Of course they are. The thing is, if you saw, like, if there were, no matter what it is that brings the market down, whether it's a new product, news, pandemic, crypto market's going to take a hit too, right? They're, as I said, over time they're going to be more coincided and more related in terms of growth or stagnation. Okay, so new tariff. So this will be interesting to see how this impacts the crypto market. I don't think we're going to have any major swings. But let's see what they have to say. So Bitcoin rallied to record high, kneecapped as Trump tariff threat hits risk assets. The president said he intends to impose a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada on February 1st. Jesus, I don't really like this scroll thing. I can do this, I suppose. After an ugly start to the week that saw its price fall below 98,000, Bitcoin managed its way back above 106,000 within view of its record high of 109,000. I feel like 110. Once we get 110, it's going to be a big day. Once we establish 110,000 support, it's going to be great. The rally reversed late in U.S. trading on Thursday after President Trump said he still intends to impose 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada beginning February 1st, citing immigration, drugs, and subsidies. I agree with him. Everybody should have tariffs if they're coming in here. The only reason China's tariffs are low, I think it's like 5%, is I feel like Musk has a lot to do with that, especially moving forward. Because Musk gets most of his chips for his cars from China. He has a factory in China. So I feel like Trump knows that, and that's why, he's kind of light on China. But I think everybody should be tariffed, to be honest with you. I mean, if they're sending products to this country, they tax us. It's like, the thing is Trump comes in and he's gonna do things rationally. That's what he said, common sense. That's his whole thing. He said it multiple times. I watch him all the time. He says common sense. Right? I mean, if they're giving us tariffs, give them back. You know what I mean? Okay. Crypto apps ranking on the App Store in the U.S. This is good news. Okay. It just shows adoption, right? That's why I just wanted to pull this up real quick. It just shows that people are getting the apps. Let's take a look. So this is the 12 month, right? Yes. This is the 12 month. We have Uniswap. Uniswap's not even on here. It's not. Okay, we have MetaMask and Phantom. MetaMask and Green. I have a MetaMask wallet, but I don't have a Phantom wallet. Let's look at the all. Let's look at everything. So as you can see, Phantom is really making a lot of strides. Right, MetaMask has always been relatively general. That's because MetaMask is reliable. It's a browser extension. It works really well. Phantom, I'm unfamiliar with because I don't have it, but it might be something to look into. But this is just really good news. I just wanted to throw this out there for that reason. So another thing I like to do to get updates and to get regular crypto news is just ask ChatGPT, because it's going to consolidate everything and it's going to spit you out the most significant stories. And there's one that I hadn't found, so I usually already know the stuff it gives me, but just to make sure I'm not really missing anything major, because I could be here all day giving you crypto news, but we're trying to focus on the top things that are going to impact the market. So over the last day, several notable developments have emerged in the cryptocurrency landscape. Europe's central bank stands on Bitcoin reserves. So this is not great news. ECB President Christine Lagarde dismissed the proposal by Czech Central Bank Governor Alice Mitchell to include Bitcoin in the country's official reserves. Lagarde emphasized that Bitcoin's volatility and concentration among a few holders makes it unsuitable for central bank reserves, which needs to be liquid, secure, and safe. Okay, that's kind of bullshit, because concentration among a few holders, let's be real, right? There might not be as many holders as traditional stocks, but we don't sell, right? That's why Bitcoin is going to be more steady over time, because the more people get into it, they're going to see it as a store of value, right? Which is going to be its main purpose, and they're not going to sell. I have Bitcoin. I'll never sell. So this is another one that is not great. They already had a story on this when it came out, but what the fuck? Okay, sorry, I'm struggling here. But we'll talk about it here. So El Salvador's Bitcoin law amendment. They made them do this in order to get a loan. So El Salvador's Congress approved a bill to amend the country's Bitcoin law to comply with a $1.4 billion loan agreement with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The IMF had urged the government to limit its exposure to Bitcoin and make its acceptance voluntary for the private sector. So it says the IMF urged the government. They didn't urge them. They made them do this. They said, you have to do this or we're not going to give you a loan. That's what they said. I remember the article. And another thing I'll say about this is they said IMF had urged the government to limit its exposure to Bitcoin and make its acceptance voluntary for the private sector. So the law before, right, in El Salvador, was you have to, if you're doing commercial stuff, if you're participating in commerce in El Salvador, you have to accept Bitcoin. That's it, right? It was a legal tender along with the U.S. dollar. They used our money because their money failed, and you had to accept Bitcoin. So now it's optional, right? Now, when I say it was a law and they made you, they weren't going from like shop to shop and like making sure that you were accepting Bitcoin. They simply said it. They didn't really follow through on implementing any consequences if you didn't, right? So nothing as far as the landscape goes and in traditional commerce is not going to change. Industry developments. Kraken resumed staking services. So as you know, Kraken just paid big fines for some nonsense that they were doing. They said they help with money laundering. They just want to get a lawsuit, so they settled. That's usually how it goes. Cryptocurrency exchange Kraken has resumed its staking services for U.S. customers after nearly 2 years. This follows a settlement with the SEC over charges of offering unregistered securities, which included a $30 million fine. Kraken Pro users in 37 states and 2 territories can now stake 17 digital assets, including Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, and Cardano. I think staking's great. You're going to get a better return than using a bank. And if you're not touching your crypto and you're just a buy and hold person, even during the bull run, if you plan on sell eventually, you might as well stake it. However, I will say that I have Solana staked on Ethereum. On my Coinbase account. That's where I have my Solana. And I don't have it in cold storage. I just have it on the account. And it took a while to unstake. Like, I have it staked. I'm not making much on it, but I don't plan on selling it. Not in the immediate term. So I tried to unstake it. It took like over a week to unstake because I was trying to withdraw some money from Coinbase, and it was like I was like, damn, this is taking that long. It took like a week to do. Maybe that's just a fluke, but just so you know, if you ever like want to stake something on Coinbase, or just try to be aware of how long it's going to take you to unstake because you can stake it instantly. We already know this story. I mentioned it, I believe, yesterday. But Coinbase's Global Advisory Council appointments. Former Senator Kristen Sinema and Chris Lasavita, it was yesterday, I remember, President Trump's 2024 co-campaign manager, have joined Coinbase's Global Advisory Council. This move comes as This move comes as the crypto industry seeks legitimacy under new Trump administration, which he signaled a friendlier approach compared to previous administrations. Okay, this next story is interesting. This one I didn't know. So UFC's Instagram account was hacked. UFC's official Instagram account was compromised, resulting in an unauthorized post promoting a cryptocurrency. I don't know which. It doesn't say which cryptocurrency. I'm sure it'd be very easy to find out. They probably removed it, so maybe not. But the post suggested the launch of a new coin, and it was live for over an hour before being removed. The UFC confirmed the hack and emphasized that the post did not originate from them. One thing I will say is, like, it said, like, they say, like, the UFC confirmed the hack and emphasized that the post did not originate from them. Makes me think, like, they could have said didn't come from them, we had nothing to do with it. It said didn't originate from them. So it makes me think that, like, did they have something to do with it? Probably not, but it's just a weird way to word it, I think. But that is what I have for you today. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget, Tony Robbins' Summit is tomorrow if you want to watch that. If you're watching this, hit the subscribe button for me, right? Hit the subscribe button. What I'm going to do is the first 1,000 followers, subscribers I get are going to be entered for a chance to win $1,000 that can be sent to them in any way, shape, or form. Money, Bitcoin, Ethereum, however, we're going to pick one person at random. So if you subscribe, you're entered to win $1,000, okay? I will say that. But that's all I have for you. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.